and you play a song that you've probably played 1,000 times over, and maybe it's a 3 or 4 chord wonder. So it's a song where you just know it inside out, and it's not really particularly challenging even. But at a point, that novelty of, oh, I can play a 3 or 4 chord wonder will wear off, and it does. And you'll get to a point of what I call creative fatigue or creative plateau, where you just feel uninspired and you're almost just going into a robot, just playing by numbers mode. You're not really thinking about the creative endeavor. You're not really thinking about the emotional connection to what you're playing, or the sort of maybe in the moment sporadic things that can come out of it. And when you are in them scenarios, and we've all been there, and we all go there fairly frequently, right? When you go there, I like to think of a little formula that's called the groove formula. And I've got Mark Lettieri to thank for turning me on to this. And it's the idea that if you are in that scenario where you just feel like you're just going back to old habits and creatively plateaued, as I say, it's the idea that you break a pattern down into this simple structure, and it goes like this: chord plus lick equals groove, or vice versa, lick plus chord equals groove. So let's take a look at this. Let's just have a very simple F sharp minor to E minor groove going on, okay? Chord sequence. So F sharp minor, E minor, okay? And I'm up on the 9th fret, so I'm using the A minor cage. Just turn it into an F sharp 7, minor 7. Now, we'll have played chord sequences like that, even if you're not aware of it or you're not conscious of it. You will have played something like that. And maybe that's just what the song needs. Maybe we are here to serve the song. Always remember that. Maybe that's exactly what the song needs. But if you think about it like this, in any given song, you will have an A section and a B section, C and D even. You want to create something that really has a sort of nice counter to what you've just played there. So if you want to push the boundaries of your playing a little bit more and not just fall into that sort of creative fatigue, as we say, and just keep playing by numbers, think about this. Think about the groove formula. So let's say that's our A section, but our B section, we want to complement that, but develop it. We'll try this out. Let's just say we're going to look at the pentatonic box overlaid over these chord shapes. So if that's the case, and let's just say for easy math, we're in the key of A major, just so we can link everything back to our theory. Let's just say we're very aware we're in the key of A. Well, you've got your F sharp minor box there, and this would be like the Phrygian if you want to get modal with it a little bit, but simply your 3rd minor pentatonic box, right? All them notes perfectly fit around that F sharp minor chord. Similarly, over that E minor shape, you want to call that Dorian. It's your 2nd minor pentatonic box. And similarly, all them pentatonic notes fit over these chords. Now, this is where it starts to get really fun. Well, rather than just playing those chords as we did in that A section, why don't we start to think about the groove formula? So let's go chord plus lick equals groove. So let's think about a little chord structure we can create here, right? So let's try this. So all I've done here is I've just created some double stops to create my chord based on taking 2 notes that are next to one another in these pentatonic boxes. For example, 12 and 12 on the B and E string. All them notes belong in these pentatonic boxes. I've not pulled them out of thin air necessarily. Then similarly, I'm going to go to 9 and 10 on my B and E string. So there, in itself, I've just created this nice little chord idea as part of my formula. I'm going to go chord again as part of the groove formula. And all I've done there is I've just lifted the double stops up a string set. So now I'm going 12 and 11, and then 10 and 9. Again, I just really want to reinforce the fact that all of these notes belong inside that third position minor pentatonic box. So there, I've got a chord plus a chord, little idea. Now I'll just throw a little lick in, again, taking notes from this minor pentatonic box. So all I did there was on the D string, I went 9, hammering to 11, pivot down to the 9th fret of the G string, back up to the 11 of D, and then I'm gonna go. And that was a slide from 9 to 11, back to 9 on the G. So if I put that all together, check this out. 2, 3, 4. Hey, that doesn't sound too bad, does it? And if you think about it, musically, functionally speaking, that's the same as just playing that F sharp minor chord, right? Now what's really cool, even more so about this, is once you've created one of these grooves, you could literally just pick it up and move it to the next point in the sequence. So with this E minor, I could just lift the same premise of the groove, but play it over that second position minor pentatonic box, like this. Again, just remember where that is, so all those notes, but let's just take the same idea. So I'm gonna go chord, chord, lick. So I've got my double stops to begin with, which would look like this. So that was 9, 10 on the B and E string, to 7, 7, to 10, 9 on the G and B string, and then 6 and 7 on the B string. So I've just taken the same idea that we had up here, right? But I've just moved it to the appropriate pentatonic position. And then I'll go lick at the end. And I suppose over that lick, just to kind of prove the point more so, I actually slid into that major box, that major pentatonic box at the end, just to kind of connect everything nicely together. So let's just get a feel for how that what was basically a 2 minor chord sequence now feels, but with this groove formula. 2, 3, 4. So there you have it. And again, as I mentioned, play around with the formula itself. So you could go lick, lick, chord. The options and possibilities are endless, quite literally. But the bottom line there is, look how it automatically opens up this new creative realm to play around with, where otherwise maybe you do just feel as though you're just playing tired and tested things over and over again. And yeah, that's just, for me, a go-to idea and premise that helps me kind of add my own flavor, my own energy into something that otherwise could be quite drab. I hope that was really useful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe the video. It really does help out. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.